Hello and welcome to the Spirit Safe. My name is Rob. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. What should we have this week? How about a Scotch single malt from a distillery I wouldn't normally go to? The Bowmore 15-year-old Darkest. Islay single malt whiskey. This is a Canadian bottling, so it's labelled in English and French. It was bottled at 43%. It is chalk filtered and artificially coloured. Now, I'm not one of the reviewers who flat out refuses to buy or review anything that's artificially coloured, but I do think it's quite cheeky to call something Darkest when you've augmented the colour with Eon 58 caramel. You know, it's just a slight bugbear. It doesn't affect what's in the bottle. I've never been the biggest fan of Bowmore. I find the 12-year-old and the no age statement small batch very soapy and somewhat underwhelming, I have to say. The 18-year-old I think is good, but it's not as good as the 18-year-old Lefroy, and just a bit too expensive for what it is. The 15-year-old Darkest obviously falls in the middle. Yeah, as I said, I've never been a massive fan of Bowmore, and I feel like a bit of an outlier because a lot of people go Bowmore, Bowmore, Bowmore. You know, buy the Devil's Cast, buy this, you know, and I never got into it in a big way. So I've had a couple of bottles of the younger stuff, and I decided to force myself to go with this 15 Darkest. Reason is I've reviewed a single malt from every distillery on Islay on my channel except for Kilhoman, and that will be on its way, and it would be incomplete without a Bowmore. Also, it's been a while since I've had one of the younger Bowmores, or it's been a while since I've had a full bottle of Bowmore, and I want to see if my tastes have changed. I also want to challenge myself and see if I can see the virtue in something that I wouldn't normally pick up. It was a bit of a challenge to pick this up at 95 Canadian dollars plus tax, when an Ardbeg 10, which I know is extremely good, is 89 plus tax. So I feel a bit like I'm paying a premium for something that I wouldn't normally choose. But you know, we're on a journey to learn more, and we can't do that through just drinking the same things again and again. So out I went to buy this Bowmore 15 Darkest. Nice colour. It really is the Darkest Bowmore, but as I say, it has been augmented. So the colour is no indication as to the time and quality of maturation. It does hit you with the sea breeze and the wet rocks. There's a wisp of smoke there, which I have to say, although it's buried beneath lots of other things that you find here that I'm going to talk about more, it seems a little more strident than you normally get in the younger ones, actually, strangely. Quite a nice piece of smoke. It's still got the hint of the soapy wishy-washiness that tends to push me away from the 12. And there's quite a lot of fruit. This has spent the last 3 years of maturation is in Oloroso sherry casks, but for that I probably wouldn't have bought it. You've got raisins, chocolate mint, chocolate orange, and sea salt. Now, I bought an expensive chocolate bar that had sea salt in it. It's a bit like that. roasted chestnuts. Hint of the old mouthwash as well. Okay. A hint. It's quite a thin mouthfeel because it has been, I think, quite extensively chill filtered. It starts out quite fruity with raisins and dark fruit, and it progresses to kind of wood smoke and ashiness, which is quite nice. A reasonably long finish as well. Bit of seaweed going on. Milk chocolate that time. A big attack of milk chocolate. And it progresses to a creamy oakiness. I have to say, this isn't all that bad. I'm glad I bought this rather than anything else in the range that's available to me in Canada. And that would be the small batch, which I tried and didn't enjoy that much, the 12-year-old, which I tried and didn't enjoy that much, the 18, which I think is a bit too expensive, and there's a whole world of really expensive things, but not the Devil's Cask or Tempest. They're not available in this part of Canada. I have to say, I am enjoying this, but only because I haven't drunk an Islay since I opened this bottle. I've got a bottle of Kilchoman waiting, and I think if I open the Kilchoman, I wouldn't really be too excited about going back to this. If this were the only distillery on Islay, I would be probably absolutely raving about it. But because it's not, and because it has some extremely tense competition from the likes of Ardbeg, Lefroy, Kilchoman, Lagavulin, all of those mean a lot more to me. I love the medicinal punch of Lefroy. I love Lagavulin 16 because I've always drunk and enjoyed it. I love the power of Kilchoman, so unrestrained. Bowmore, I don't hold it as dearly as I do the other Islay distilleries. I mean, even Kalila, which has its genuine flaws, I prefer the smoke signature on Kalila than I do on the Bowmore. I'm glad I picked something that has that additional sherry maturation. It gives it a lot more gives me a lot more to go on. The whiskies that they have that are just smoke and malt, things like the 12-year-old, they do not stand up in comparison to the 10-year-old Ardbeg or the 10-year-old Lefroy, in my opinion. Just my tastes, but this has not been bad. I will drink and enjoy it, and I've enjoyed it more than I expected. I won't run back to it, and I will still always have difficulty picking this up at $95 when there is an Ardbeg 10 at $90 next to it. So yeah, a quick one. You can hear my son crying. I've not left him unattended, I promise. But yeah, I've quite enjoyed this. Of the standard expressions of Bowmore, this is probably the one to go for. Message for Bowmore, if anyone's watching, which I doubt very much that they are. If you bottle this, a Bowmore 15 cask strength with no chill filtration, I will gladly buy it. I'll buy 2 bottles. Not a Bowmore fan, but I would run out and buy it. Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much, everybody. Cheers. Bye-bye.